and 250,000 displaced from Gaza City in past month, UN figures show. This article was written by Jason Burke. More than 250,000 people have been displaced from Gaza City in the last month, according to figures from the UN, with tens of thousands more forced to flee makeshift homes and shelters daily in the face of a new Israeli offensive. Strikes by Israeli artillery, tanks and warplanes hit Gaza City again on Thursday, as a UN official said new waves of mass displacement were underway, after about 60,000 fled the new assault in 72 hours earlier this week. Israeli military officials say the total number following Israeli orders to evacuate Gaza City is much higher. An unbroken column of traffic heavily laden with household utensils, blankets, mattresses, gas cylinders, and often entire families packed Gaza's narrow coastal road on Thursday, as a steady stream of Palestinians headed south towards areas designated by Israel. Prices for transport have soared, forcing some to walk, laden with belongings and young children. "We are heading to go sleep on the streets towards the beach, like this, barefoot, we don't know where to go," said Yasser Salah, speaking as he stood on a rickety trailer being pulled by a car. Israeli military officials said Gaza City was a Hamas stronghold, and that as many as 450,000 civilians had left. The estimate was based on multiple sources, including drone surveillance, an official told The Guardian. Israeli forces now control Gaza City's eastern suburbs, and in recent days have moved into the Sheikh Radwan and Tel al-Hawa areas, from where they would be positioned to advance on the central and western districts where most of the remaining population is sheltering. Swathes of Gaza City, once a busy commercial and cultural hub, have been reduced to uninhabitable ruins. Until weeks ago, more than 1 million people were living there, many already displaced numerous times. On Wednesday, Bezalel Smotrich, Israel's far-right finance minister, described Gaza as a real estate bonanza, according to local Hebrew media reports. Speaking to a property development conference in Tel Aviv, Smotrich said the demolition, the first stage in Gaza City's renewal, we have already done. Now we just need to build. The same day, the Israeli military announced the opening of a second route out of Gaza City, through the middle of the Gaza Strip, for 2 days to try to encourage the exodus. Its Arabic language spokesperson, Colonel Avaki Adrei, said the corridor would remain open for just 48 hours. Shadi Joad, 47, who fled Gaza City via the route, said, "The situation is indescribable, crowds everywhere, the sound of explosions, women and men crying and screaming as they walked while carrying their belongings." The Israeli military has been dropping leaflets urging people to flee towards a designated humanitarian zone in the south of the territory, but aid agencies say conditions there are dire, with insufficient food, medicine and space, and inadequate shelter. Rosalia Bolan of UNICEF said, "The area in southern Gaza that people are ordered to go to is a largely overcrowded stretch of dunes. It is inappropriate, unprepared and unsafe to host displaced families with immense humanitarian needs there, and for the hundreds of thousands of people still left in Gaza City, half of them children, we are deeply worried, as airstrikes have been pounding Gaza City. Much of northern Gaza is gripped by famine, according to internationally respected experts. Hamas's armed wing, the Esdin al-Qassam brigades, warned the Israeli military to expect fierce fighting. "We are ready to send the lives of your soldiers to hell, and we have prepared for you an army of martyrs," the group said in a statement. Late on Thursday, the Israeli military said 4 of its soldiers had been killed by a roadside bomb in Rafah in southern Gaza. Elsewhere, debris from the interception of an explosive drone fired from Yemen struck the port city of Eilat, in the far south of Israel, and an attacker killed 2 men at the main border crossing between the Israeli-occupied West Bank and Jordan. Benjamin Netanyahu, Israel's prime minister, rejected the advice of Israel's most senior generals and intelligence officials not to launch the new offensive. Many Israeli observers and commentators accuse Netanyahu, who is facing corruption charges and is wanted for war crimes by the International Criminal Court, of seeking to fend off early elections, which could force his hard-right coalition from power, by prolonging the war. Earlier this week, a UN commission of inquiry accused Israel of committing genocide in the Gaza Strip, saying Netanyahu and other senior officials had incited the crime. Israel rejected the findings as distorted and false. At least 79 Palestinians were killed by Israeli strikes or gunfire across Gaza in the past 24 hours, mostly in Gaza City, the territory's health ministry said on Thursday. The war was triggered by an attack by Hamas into Israel in October 2023, in which militants killed about 1,200 people, mostly civilians. Of the 251 people taken hostage, 47 remain in Gaza, including 25 the Israeli military says are dead. Israel's retaliatory campaign has killed at least 65,000 people, also mostly civilians, and injured more than 160,000.